Today we're going to be thinking about a man called Peter. Peter was one of Jesus's really good friends. He'd been with Jesus for about 3 years, following him, seeing him do miracles, heal people, teach amazing things. And Peter was really close to Jesus. But things were beginning to get really difficult for Jesus. There were people who didn't like him, people who were beginning to stir up trouble. And one day Jesus was telling them about this. He was saying to Peter, things are going to get difficult. And Peter said, I'll always stand by you, Jesus. I'll never let you down. I'm always there for you. And Jesus said to him, actually, Peter, you're going to deny knowing me 3 times. 3 times people are going to ask you about me. And you're going to say, no, I don't know that man. Peter said, no, Jesus, I'll never do that. And Jesus said, Peter, you will. By the time the cockerel crows in the morning, you will have denied knowing me 3 times. Peter was really disturbed by that. He didn't like what Jesus had said. But that night, Jesus got arrested. There were crowds out to get him. It was really difficult. It was a really frightening time for people. And 3 different people said to Peter, aren't you a friend of Jesus? Don't you know that Jesus man? Aren't you one of his followers? And 3 times Peter said, no, I don't know him. And after the 3rd time, the cockerel crowed and he remembered what Jesus had said to him, and he was devastated. He was so sad. So today, our craft that we're going to make is a cockerel. Now there's going to be 2 different versions of this that you can try making. One is a bit more simple or a bit less messy, let's put it that way. So for this activity you need either a semicircle of white card, or if you've got some paper plates you can fold a paper plate in half. You need some little scraps of either coloured red or yellow card, or some card paper that you can colour in red and yellow. A bit of glue, and I've just got some bits of tissue paper, but if you've got feathers or anything like that, you'll see, to make the tail with at the end. So out of your pieces of red card or card that you can paint in colour in red, you need to cut like this crest. The cockerels always have like a red crest on the top, so you need to cut one of those out. You need to cut a yellow beak out. Chickens and cockerels always have a nice yellow beak. And they also have like a little red bit underneath their throat, so just a little U-shaped piece of red. If you've got any googly eyes, that's great, a googly eye, or you can draw that in with a pen. So what we're going to do, we're just going to stick these on to make the cockerel's head. So there's his cresty bit going on the top, and a little bit underneath his chin, underneath his throat is there, and then his nice yellow beak goes on there like that. And then you can stick his eye, oops, a daisy, that was clever, on there. And cockerels make a great noise. You could practice making cock-a-doodle-doo noises as you do this. That will upset your mum and dad. There we are. So there's the cockerel's head, like that. Okay. And then on the end, we're just going to stick, they have great big feathers, often cockerels, really bright and colourful feathers. So I've just torn up some bits of tissue paper, but as I say, if you've got some feathers or all sorts of things, you can stick those on to make their tail out of those. And they can just stick on there. Oops, it's a bit long. Make that as fancy and as grand as you like. So there we are. There we have our cockerel. He's got these great feathers on the end. He's got his big plume on the top of his head and his great beak. So that's one version of the cockerel that you can make. That's the less messy one. So for the more messy version of the cockerel, we're going to use some paint. You'll need some yellow paint and possibly some red, or you could use a felt pen for that if you want to. And you're going to put some paint on your hand. We're going to do hand painting for this. So I'm going to use my own hand today. We're going to get very messy. Excellent. So I'm going to cover one hand in the yellow paint. You might need somebody to help you do this. Try not to get paint all over your best things at home. Put an apron on if you need to. So, and then all you're going to do is put your hand down, spread your fingers out and press your hand down on the piece of paper. And carefully peel that off and you'll have a handprint. Now I haven't maybe used quite enough paint, but you're going to have a handprint like that. Alright, and then your thumb is going to be like the head and the neck of the cockerel, and you're going to put a tiny bit of red on the end of the thumb for the feathers on the top of his head, and then a tiny little bit for his beak. You can see like that. And then if you've got a black pen or a dark coloured pen, you can draw his legs on. Like that. And give him an eye. And if you're really clever, you can put some tiny little bits of seed down here that he's eating. And there we are. You've got a hand printed cockerel eating his seeds there. So if you didn't have quite enough paint, you can just touch it up a little bit with your finger, just carefully fill in some of the gaps. There we are. So there's 2 cockerels that you can make to remember that Peter, Jesus' best friend, pretended that he didn't know Jesus 3 times before the cockerel crowed. Have a good day, and we'll see you tomorrow for another craft activity.